This is a fully functional mosaic workshop. 40 hours a week we crank out mosaic and products that incorporate mosaic. I actually did an apprenticeship. I had worked in tile before, so I had a background in tile working after I graduated from college. But initially, as I think about it now, when I was living in Missoula, how I got turned onto it was by a guy who had a lodgepole pine furniture shop, and he was doing these hodgepodge mosaic trout on top of these tables. And he knew I was into fishing, and so he kind of brought me into it. So he knew I had a background in tile even at that time. He was kind of doing spot jobs because as a fishing guide, you know, you might work in the winter doing something like that, and like tile or whatever, because you can't fish. And so he brought me in, and he loved fly fishing, and he kind of showed me what he was doing, and that was in the fall of 1996. You know, mosaic changes so drastically that, I mean, even the most basic image can be turned into something that's pretty, I mean, because again, mosaic has these design elements that you lose in painting and stuff like that, like joints and shaping. So you can take something that's basically a coloring book image, and if it's done with the right palette and done in the right style, man, you can make something like a starfish, which is seemingly pretty basic, but you can, with the use of color and things like that, you can turn it into something spectacular. For classes, for example, if I'm sort of excited about the classes, people are going to be down with it. If I'm not excited about it, they're not going to be excited about it. And so turning people on to mosaic for like in the beginner classes, man, it's tons of fun that way. And I meet tons of friends from around the world through art, through instruction. It's sometimes hard to get excited about art when there are hungry people in the community, when there's so much discord and this. This should, you know, it's tough to celebrate stuff when we have so much other stuff going on. But then people will argue that art helps us deal with that other stuff, that you're kind of seeing it from a flawed point of view. That art is actually the link that keeps helps us stay grounded and yeah, you know, music, I guess, is sort of, that's a good question about that too, but you know, this is the antithesis of playing a song. Because this takes forever, whereas a song takes 2.5 minutes. But you know, I mean, I guess it is. We do art and we love it, and for us, it's the art, you know, selling someone a piece of art, there's tons of satisfaction, you know, so, but like I say, I come from a weird, cynical punk rock background where consciousness is a curse. I hope it's worth it, but it's hard to celebrate some of that stuff when you see what you see and you're just like, I don't know, man. Anyway. Oh, for sure. There are times where I'm just so stoked about finishing these projects, you know, where I do have that like sort of like a spring in your step a little bit and you're ready to go. Because again, it's easy to get, it's not always this way, but oftentimes if I don't have anything to do throughout the day, like cut stone or something like that, if I can just work on projects, I mean, it's fun as hell. But the monoliths, you know, they're kind of based on the cool liths in like England and Ireland and on the French coast and Scott, you know, that's kind of what they're based upon. But yeah, man, and it's kind of one of those things where not everybody can do it. You know, pilasters, when you're traveling down some old trail somewhere and there's, you know, like a wave marker or a mile marker, I love that sort of nostalgia. It's just mosaic, man. I mean, it's kind of one of those things you kind of have to give yourself the one component of it and just keep pushing. I'm hoping to go to the Chicago Mosaic School in the next couple of years because the shaping part of it and being able to cut stuff is one thing, but use of color and things like that, you know, that's something that it's good to learn about. And you know, you can cut straight lines till the cows come home, but if you use the wrong colors or you could have used them in another way that you didn't think of, you know, it's kind of a bummer. And that's how you distinguish your work from other people, because there's a lot of mosaic people in the world. There's a lot of mosaic people just in this town, man. But you know, between this and music, you know, the accordion music, the Irish stuff, and the world music that's the pub band kind of puts out, I mean, we get paid money to do that. And if you work hard and gig about, you know, so between that and this, but you know, that's a beautiful thing. I guess we'll have to see if my hands hold out, my elbows, because it's a lot of repetitive motion, you know? And your arms, it's like playing the accordion, your arms are always bent. So your elbows and your joints just get tired, man. And it's like double duty. My elbows are wondering, You know, like, what are you doing, man? Why don't you just sit at your desk and don't move at all?